Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Sandra here. Just wanted to fill you in on how things are going for me on my doctor monitored extended water fast. So how was yesterday? How am I today? This morning as of 10 o'clock, I am 108 hours into my water fast. And that's kind of like halfway through day 4 because I began my fast at 10 p.m. Last Friday night. So 10 a.m. this morning would be halfway through day 4. And then I would wrap up that tonight at 10 p.m. So my weight this morning was 115. My blood pressure was 110/72. My pulse was 65. Don't forget that I have bradycardia. So that is 65 is high for me because my normal blood pulse is 45. But I had just gotten out of the shower when Dr. Asa came out to check my blood pressure and my pulse. Okay, now this next piece of information is a little bit of TMI, so I'm very sorry, but if you are ever thinking about doing this, this is something that you're going to want to know. And that is that when you're doing an extended water fast, BMs are not very frequent. If you are already on a whole food plant-based diet, you're a healthy eater, that BMs don't come very frequently. If you are coming off a SAD diet, then it's probably going to be, according to what I've heard, from like the doctors at True North, etc., that it's going to be quite entertaining for people who are coming off a SAD diet. It's not pleasant. Their BMs are not pleasant. But I had my first one and my only one so far Sunday afternoon. And remember, I started this Friday night. So I went all the way through Saturday, and then I had mine on Sunday, and I have not had another one since. And today is Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Okay, so yesterday I made it about 11 laps around the backyard walking very slowly. It felt good, and it increased my mood. I sat on one of the chairs and did some stretches in a sitting position, my shoulders and areas where I usually have trouble. I did some stretches. I attended Dr. Asa's wonderful lecture yesterday called Curing the Cure, and that's really what I want to talk about today. And I rested a lot yesterday. I slept some during the day as well. I'm still not hungry per se. When a meal time comes around, I think about food, but I'm not, like starving to death. However, I am still very vulnerable to food, and so to the thoughts of food, and so I'm still the ritual of eating. I'm still vulnerable to that, and staying away from Facebook and other things like that. My roommate and I talk about food some, but and it's a little bit triggering, but it's beneficial for us. I've introduced her to Dr. Furman's Quick and Easy Cookbook and Kathy Fisher's Straight Up Food, because I think that they're going to help her a lot as she continues when she leaves here. So, and I did the same thing for the other 2 roommates as well. I am still taking hot showers standing up, although this is not recommended. But what I'm doing is I step very carefully into the hot water, and I gauge my physical reaction to the water, and then step in, continue to get in. But in case I need to sit down quickly in there rather than falling, I am trying to be very careful of my physical reactions to the hot water. I remember once when I was a middle school or high school, my dad was a builder, built lots of homes and other structures, churches, and renovated banks and things like that. And I remember it was summer, and he was working on the roof of a house he was building, and he was up on that hot roof in Florida summer all day, and he just got too hot. And when he got home that evening, he went to take a shower. And Mom and I were in the house, and we heard it. We heard thud. When he hit the floor, when he stepped into that shower, he hit the floor. It just did it to him. And it scared me to death when my very strong, my hero, my dad, hit the floor. It was a hard moment to see your father fall like that, to hear it. And Mom ran in there, and he had fainted. And she helped him up, got him out of that hot shower. And also I remember one time for me, I had laid out in the sun too long. I'd been out in the sun for some reason. I remember I was laying out or doing yard work maybe, I don't remember. But I got too hot, and I came in and took a shower. And I mean, when that hot water hit me, it was like whoosh. All the energy that I had left me immediately. So I was like, I mean, it was like I could feel it just drain out of my body within 3 seconds. And it was a very scary feeling. So, you know, I am very careful about this whole shower thing. I'm doing it, but I'm being very cautious about it. Okay, so in the morning I'm waking up with energy, and as the day goes on, my energy wanes. In the afternoon and evening, I don't have much energy left at all. My mood is still good, but I don't have much energy, and my roomie has said that she feels the same way. She wakes up feeling pretty good, and as the day goes on, she loses her energy. So it's the same situation. I still prefer lying down or reclining on one of these 2 couches or in the backyard to sitting because of my tailbone hurting. It is not comfortable for me to sit for long periods of time, so I just prefer lying down. Just because sitting is uncomfortable. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I'd rather be sitting up. Yesterday, I lay on the one of the reclined, totally lying flat lounge chairs back there, and lay there for about 30 minutes, and it felt really good to just listen to the wind. I had no music or anything, and that was really nice. Okay, so here, I have no access to food, I have no chores to do, I have no responsibilities, and those 3 things are the only things that are keeping me on track. If I were at home, I would have already caved in, because, folks, this is hard. This is actually a miserable thing to do. And while I'm here, I only have 3 jobs. Number 1, don't eat. That's a major job. Number 2, drink 60 to 80 ounces of water in a 24-hour period. This is my bottle. It's about 20 ounces. And I drink this 4 times. I fill it 4 times from the cold water machine, which is reverse osmosis, in my room. I was instructed to swish the water around in my mouth before I drink it, and that'll help to, elongate the drinking. This is an insulated bottle, so it keeps the water cold until I'm done with it. This is my first bottle of the day, so I get to have 3 more. And that's one of the things I look forward to the most, is drinking that water. So those are, and then the third thing is rest. So those are my only 3 jobs throughout the day. Don't eat. Drink 60 to 80 ounces of water, and rest. If you are dangerously obese and you need to lose weight quickly or you will die, then extended water fasting might be for you. But if you are midway or close to your goal weight, don't try to use extended water fasting just to lose weight. Because like I said, it's a pretty miserable way to just lose weight. Just stick to your healthy diet, or use it and incorporate intermittent fasting if you're close to your goal and you want to speed up the process. I've done that. And just be patient with that. But use extended water fasting for other medical issues, like what I'm doing right now. I'm not doing this to lose weight, because you will put some of it back on. I'd much rather lose weight by eating healthy food, like I've been doing all this time. Much more enjoyable. But I'm doing this because of my skin conditions here, hoping they'll go away. I'm doing this because I have a cyst that I'm hoping will be eliminated and dissolved. And if there's anything else going on, then I am doing this to try to eliminate any other problems that I don't even know I have. I'm hoping, I don't know, Dr. Asa said he doesn't think this will happen just from water fasting, but I'm hoping that this will help to shrink up some of my excess skin that I have. But that may not happen. But with remaining on a whole food, plant-based, healthy diet for years, I believe that my skin will continue to shrink. You maybe not know me, okay? You don't know that I used to weigh 252 pounds, and I'm only 5'2". So I was morbidly obese. And when I found Dr. Furman, and I began this whole food, plant-based way of living, and I'm down now this morning, like I said, well, before doing this water fast, I had gotten to 117 actually. Then I put a few back on. But my neck was huge. It was huge. If you go back and look at my pictures. It was so big that when I lay in bed at night, I would actually lie there and stretch my neck out like a turtle because the skin was in folds right here. And I would stretch my neck out like a turtle, and I would try to bring my skin apart and lie there on my back and try to sleep. But it was all touching each other, and it felt like I had a turtleneck on, and it was hard to sleep with that. And I mean, now I feel like a chicken neck, I feel like I don't even have anything left there. And that is all from whole food, plant-based living, or as Dr. Furman says, nutrient-dense, plant-rich way of eating. And I use that word diet. Diet has two meanings. It is something that people use for a temporary thing, that they only use it just to lose weight, and then they want to go back to their other way of eating, their previous way of eating. But I use diet in the other term, which is your normal way of eating, as usual. And so to me, that's what I'm doing. I've been doing this since October 2015, and I don't ever want to give it up because it has been a godsend. It has been a lifesaver to me. I would like to now talk a little bit about some of the highlights from Dr. Asa's, Dr. Fry's presentation yesterday. His presentation was mostly in Spanish because Naida doesn't speak very much English, but here I have the English that I want to share with you. Okay, so the name of his presentation was Curing the Cure. And I know that doesn't make any sense right now, but let me go through this and you'll understand what he was talking about. He started by talking about some of the causes, just a few of the causes of disease, and he mentioned too much activity. When we just run too much, we can get disease, we can get ill from that. Not enough rest, not enough sleep will cause illness. Stimulants like caffeine, other stimulants, drugs, medications, and supplements. Even supplements can cause us to become ill. If we take supplements that have things in them that we should be getting through our food, but we are getting them through supplements, we can get sick. A poor diet and stress, daily stress, can cause us to be ill. These things increase our energy debt. Think of your body as a battery, okay? And it's a battery that we have, we build up energy into our body that we use throughout the day. Okay, it's one large battery, and it holds your full amount of energy. And those things I just mentioned will decrease your natural energy. And coffee, I'm looking at you. Caffeine has the ability to decrease our natural energy. It gives us artificial energy, which actually, all in all, is not a good thing. Now, I love my coffee. Now, I'm without it here, and I went through my coffee withdrawal, But I do enjoy the ritual of drinking coffee. I enjoy the flavor. I enjoy the aroma. I have not decided yet if I'm going to add coffee back when I get back home. That is a decision I have not made. But that is the only stimulant, artificial stimulant that I take. Now, think of an emergency battery backup system hiding somewhere in your body. Okay, this houses the energy that is saved only for life-threatening situations, like running for your life from a bear or exhibiting extreme strength to save a child. Okay, this is when you use your emergency backup energy. But many people in this day and age tap into this emergency backup battery on a regular basis. This is what leads to complete exhaustion and inability of the body to continue the processes that maintain life, which ultimately, sadly, leads to death. So if you think of your body as the government, then that government has lots of departments in it, just like our government has lots of departments. Well, two of those departments of our body, if our body were a government, would be the Department of Food Processing, which is your digestion, and the Department of Sanitation, which is your waste removal or waste elimination. So let's talk for a minute about those two departments specifically of our system, of our personal inner government. If you engage in constant poor nutrition, then you are impeding the efforts of your Department of Food Processing. There are things that we routinely do that actually prevent, now let's talk about the other department. There are things that we routinely do that actually prevent our body from properly eliminating waste, which damages the effectiveness of our Department of Sanitation. And that can lead to accumulation of waste in our system that is not getting out like that department wants to eliminate, but it's not being able to function and properly, and so waste accumulates in our system. The accumulation of waste in our body is called toxemia. We can live with small amounts of toxins in our system, and we all have small amounts of toxins. But frequently, people reach the danger zone of toxemia because of their unhealthy lifestyle. When that happens, your body has only two choices. Number one, do nothing and allow the organic tissue damage to occur. We don't even know that this damage is even happening until it is far along. So various cancers occur this way. It is organic tissue damage inside our system that we are not even aware of until, it's almost too late. Not always too late, but that is what happens. That's what happened with my dad with his colon cancer. Once it was discovered, it was too late. He went through chemo, but it was not effective enough to reverse the damage that was caused by the waste accumulation in his body. Other things are arthritis, diabetic retinopathy, arterial plaques, etc. These are things that are caused by our unhealthy lifestyle building up waste accumulation. When I say arterial plaques, I'm talking about like when you have to have a stent, you have to have that, they pull out, that yellow greasy stuff out of your arteries, or they cut your arteries and just replace a piece with an artery from your thigh. These are our methods of trying to, stop the progress of arterial issues, but, the best thing to do is to not let that happen to you to begin with. Okay, so the second choice that your body has is to take action. Now this is really what I want to talk about today. This has been on my mind for months, over a year. I've been thinking about this. And when Dr. Asa mentioned it yesterday, it really hit home. The second choice that your body has is to take action to try to heal itself. So this is when we experience a sudden acute reaction or an illness like you get a cold, your body tries to eliminate the unwanted product through various orifices. Now, Dr. Fitzgerald mentioned that we have 10 orifices. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then he pointed to his urethra, 8, his rectum, 9, and then he said our skin is our 10th orifice, as Dr. Fitzgerald mentioned at our conference. Our mouth, our nose, our eyes, our ears, our urethra, our rectum, our lungs. Also, the body will use your lungs to try to rid itself of damaging materials. And it even uses our cardiovascular system to try to rid itself of damaging waste in our system. So, what happens? Suddenly, we begin to experience symptoms, okay, of our body's efforts to heal itself. Our body is very wise, and it knows what to do. If you give it the proper nutrition, then it knows how to heal itself of many, many, many things. So, what are some of our symptoms that we experience when we become ill? Coughing, congestion, throat congestion, lung congestion. We get a headache. We start to vomit. We experience diarrhea. We experience extreme sweating. That's through our skin. We experience inflammation. We experience pain. We suddenly experience extreme fatigue. We experience body aches, or sometimes we get skin lesions like what I've got here. We get a fever. These are symptoms of our body trying as hard as it can to heal. And here is where we mess up. We immediately try to stop the symptoms that are really our body's attempt to self-heal. We dry up a runny nose. We take medicine to dry up a runny nose. Even though the runny nose is our body's attempt to rid us of the infection. The runny nose is trying to make that stuff come out. Why do we take medication to dry it up? If we do that, we're not allowing the body to get rid of it. It stays up in there when you take medication to dry up a runny nose. We take meds to stop diarrhea, when what our body is trying to do through diarrhea is to eliminate toxins. But we want to stop the diarrhea, okay? We take meds to bring down a fever, when the fever is our body's attempt to burn up the bad bacteria. We take meds to end a headache. We take aspirin, which thins our blood. We take meds to break up our congestion. We take meds to reduce inflammation. The meds will prevent our body from healing itself. If we simply keep trying to stop the body's efforts to eliminate toxins, which are what our symptoms, then the toxemia will continue. Because we are not addressing the real cause of the problem. This is what gets me about the creams that people put on their skin for eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, acne. These creams do nothing to address the actual cause of the skin problem. And they ultimately will thin out your skin. I've heard this from a lot of people, that it makes their skin very fragile after they've used these steroidal creams to reduce the psoriasis or the eczema, etc. So these conditions that I mentioned, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, acne, are not really skin problems. This is what most people don't understand. Eczema is not a skin problem. It is rather a problem that is caused by something else inside our body, and the problem simply manifests itself on our skin. So putting on a cream solves nothing. It will not rid you of the cause. It's a temporary solution, and in the end, when you stop using it, the problem comes back because the body still has the problem inside. And so the idea is to address the cause of the problem. So, in conclusion, this is what Dr. Asa means by curing the cure. The body creates an acute reaction, which are all those symptoms I mentioned, to eliminate waste and to resolve our toxemia. The symptoms that we experience, like the fever, etc., diarrhea, vomiting, runny nose, these are the cure. But we run instead to a doctor, or we try on our own to remedy the symptoms, and therefore we are trying to cure the cure. This makes no sense. So finally, addressing the symptoms instead of addressing the real cause is, and as Dr. Asa says, it's like trying to sober up a drunk man while he's continuing to drink. Okay? And that is not going to solve anything. You can't sober a drunk man who is still drinking. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you have found some use in this. Some of these things that Dr. Asa addressed, as I said, have been on my mind for a long time. When I get a cold, when I get an allergy, I do not take medicines to dry up. I just let it go. I just blow my nose. And because I know that my body is trying to rid itself of the infection, and why should I take something to dry it up and hurt my body's attempt to rid itself? That's all I'm saying here. So I agree totally with what Dr. Asa was saying yesterday. Don't try to cure the cures. There are times, appropriate times, for doctors to help us with things, but if you just have a slight fever, let your body go through it and get the rest. When you experience extreme fatigue, your body is just wanting you to lay down and rest. That's what we do when we have a cold. We rest, and you allow your body to heal itself while you're resting and not continuing to push yourself. Okay, that's all I wanted to say today. If you're watching this via Facebook, I would love it if you would give this a thumbs up and subscribe, and maybe share with somebody you feel like might benefit from this. And everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.